Hey y'all. I don't think that wants to load, so we're gonna move on. How y'all doing today? I'm running a little late. My title had got uh too long and I had to start all over. I'm running a little bit late, but that's okay. I'll just stay a little bit late. We're gonna start with this one instead.
Excited. I tried it out and I put it to the test straight away. It was still very cold. It was like 15 degrees or so. The first night I got it, I jumped into my mummy bag, and I knew as soon as I jumped into that mummy bag that I was going to be okay. I just had a feeling that I was going to be okay, but I still wanted to put it to the test, so I did, and I went to sleep inside my uh, mummy bag. And I think I was just wearing sweats and I was wearing my hoodie and I had my socks on and everything. But, anyways, I went to sleep and I woke up the following morning. And guess what? I slept all the way through the night. I woke up feeling rested. I woke up feeling hopeful. I felt like I had figured out that first problem. And as soon as I got that sorted out, then I just started developing the mentality of, okay, I'm going to learn as I go. Whatever I don't figure out, you know, at first, I will. I will eventually. Then comes the summer. And I'm thinking to myself, I can make it through a cold winter. What's a hot summer going to be? No problem, right? I found out that the summer was actually harder to deal with than the winter. Okay. It's easier to bundle up, stay warm, but when it's 90 degrees or 100 degrees outside and the humidity, it's like, okay, I can be butt naked back there and still be sweating, right? So I also had to figure that out. And that was before I had a mini fan on board. That was before I used ice, like ice chips or like ice cubes to kind of, you know, rub on my body to cool myself off in combination with the fan. It was before I started using my spray bottle to kind of cool myself off in the middle of the night. And I figured out those things as well, how to stay cool in the summer as well. The point I'm trying to make in this video is that there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things that you haven't experienced that you will have to experience for yourself in order to figure it out, right?
Mhm.
The most important thing you want to do right now is keep the faith, right? Just jump out there into the wild and find out for yourself what you're capable of. Let me tell you something. The man I am now compared to the man I was 2 years ago, I am way more resilient than I was 2 years ago. I'm way more resourceful than I was 2 years ago. I'm tougher than I was 2 years ago, to put it short, okay? Because I was scared back then. I wasn't sure of myself. Now I am sure of myself. And, living in a car for me has become, it's home. It's just home to me, right? I can't wait to jump back here and just watch my Netflix and take these clothes off and just chill, put the feet up, right? And make myself a meal if I want to,
Coffee.
make some oatmeal or a pasta dish. I just do whatever I want back there, just like it's home.
Mhm.
And I'm here in Walmart at the moment. Walmart has become my primary um, place to camp out, right? And some people have a lot of questions about Walmart as well. So did I. So did I. Let me run it back. Before I started sleeping in Walmart consistently, before I
Y'all, welcome back. Good morning, guys. I hope all's well with you guys today. And I apologize, I'm running a little bit late, but that's okay. I'm gonna stay a little bit late. And today I have so many great tips. And I was gonna take it a little bit more calmer, a little bit more slower, about the comfort, the easy days as far as rainy days. I'm also going to show a young lady who is going to pretty much show you guys talk about the real, the obstacles that she's having to overcome and what's making it worth it for her, what's helping her to keep going. Um, because she is someone who sought this just for to save money, and how well she's able to do living in her car and working with Amazon Flex and Walmart Spark and DoorDash all together on pretty much on call, and how much money she's able to make, and how she's paying her taxes, and not to mention how her YouTube channel is looking pretty good there too, and how she was able to protect her mental health, and what she um how she was able to just overcome some of the uh some of the mental attacks, of far as like I was talking about yesterday, as far as being starting your goal and seeing some progress, but not as much progress as you're putting into your dream, and it's not happening fast enough. Nobody else sort of sees things coming together for you. And you certainly don't see it coming together on the outside looking in, but you can feel it coming through on the inside looking out. See what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're you're becoming more, like he was talking about, becoming more resilient, becoming more overcoming different. I like how I started him at a certain marker because he is overcoming. It showed where the first thing he overcame was um, him trying to get through a cold night, on the first cold night, without having nobody that he's talked to. At the time he started, it wasn't as many people out that was living in their cars for sport, not camping out, but to save money and to try to make money. And so um he was just saying how um he had to find different things to fit his situation with his amount of money that he was dealing with and everything. And that is something that I know I'm going to stay uh, on throughout this journey, because it's always important to me to try to um, be at the common man's stance, because that's my stance. That's the um you know uh just us commoners, ordinary people, because that's what I can relate to the most. And so I'm always going to be like, what's most practical, what's most cost efficient, what is you know, um the easiest things to make the biggest impact. And to be I'm like looking all over the place trying to find things that everybody isn't talking about, and not just that, but also because of my genuine interest in the culture, the of and I say culture because um it's a certain camaraderie in the people that live in their vehicles. It's just like they support each other right off the rip. As soon as they know it's somebody coming into that lifestyle, they like, yeah, okay, well, look, don't do this, do this. They as soon as they, it's just like they jump right in, as if they're like, how people, they be like, you was in the army, what bracket or whatever, how they be saying. What? Yeah. Oh man, yeah, because I was in the such and yeah, I wasn't in that, but I was in this, and then they have automatic disconnection because they know what it means. They know that there is a price to pay in what you're doing. They know that they've served. And same with them. They know the common is something that everybody goes through, whether they plushed out living it, or if they're just starting out with nothing but little power pack in their car that don't run. So um I'm gonna start a question and answer thing. I don't know why this particular sticker came up though. But I'm starting a question and answer. If you guys like to come in and ask me anything or want to know anything, same. I think that's about the same since it's a different way, but still. Anyway, I'm going to go in on him pretty um a lot of this episode, mainly because I think he speaks to everybody from the beginner to somebody who is well doused in the staying in a car, and somebody that is very relatable and that you would just enjoy watching, if nothing else but for entertainment, reality TV. And of course I'll leave his channel. He's very relatable, and I just really found it to be pleasant. Even he had a episode on his channel where he had rainy nights, and I love the sound of the rain hitting the car. And so when I got ready to go sleep last night before I got ready to pray and turned off everything, I just kept him on, listening to the rain in the background as he was talking and saying what he was doing. It's like, yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna check my email. I'm gonna do, but I was listening to the rain in the background and still sort of getting a feel of his personality. And I said, I think that once I played this all the way through, I said, I think I'm gonna run him throughout this episode because he's not filling the air with talk just to sell some minutes so that he can run up and so that he can, get all these minutes because, per minute you get paid as long as you're going on YouTube. Some people just fill it up with a bunch of nothingness, which I usually don't do. I guess I'm doing it a little bit now, but I'm not doing that now. It's important to hear from me. I am the host. I mean, I'm saying it like I'm just going on and on saying a bunch of nothing, but I'm not. Anytime I speak, it's something. Anyway, I have a lot of great um, contributing things for today's show, and they're all off the grid. There's things that everybody's not talking about, and until I get to those, I'm gonna let you guys get back to him. Let's get back to you, buddy.
Ever slept in Walmart at all, what I was doing was I started calling the Walmarts and speaking to people and saying, hey, do you guys allow car camping? And 98% of them said, no, we don't allow car camping. Click. I'm like, damn, where the hell am I going to sleep? Except for one Walmart. I called up one Walmart and I spoke to a guy. And this guy sounded like the dude from the Big Lebowski. He's like, yeah, man, you can just camp out there and, just don't draw any attention to yourself.
I want to say you never know who you're being an angel to, how much you can affect somebody's life just by being a decent person and taking just a minute to be decent, not just go on with the formula, what you've been, you know what I'm saying? Just to be a nice person for a minute, and how far that can take not just one person, but a lot of people.
There's actually people out there who've been camping here for years. Go ahead and give it a shot. And that's all I needed to hear. That one person, that one Walmart employee that said, yeah, just give it a shot. And I did. And everything went so smoothly, right? And of course there's some noises, like people playing loud music, people yelling in the parking lot, you know what I mean, traffic going by, this, that, and the other. Those sounds become background noise after a while, and it's not even a thing. But anyways, I went in and I tried, and I slept, and I did it again, and I did it again, and I said, you know what, I'm getting pretty good at this stealth thing, let me try it at a different one. So I did. And we're talking like signs being posted that say no overnight camping. And It seems like protocol for the employees to say, no, we don't allow car camping, or to put up the signs that say, we don't allow overnight parking, right? It's like, it seems to me that it's protocol, right? And it must be in the state of Rhode Island and in the state of Massachusetts. Those are the only two states that I have experience with car camping at a Walmart. And I can tell you, hundreds, hundreds upon hundreds of times I've slept in different Walmarts. I've only received a knock on the window one time, guys, one time at a Walmart parking lot. It turned out to be another car lifer, or, just another car camper, and it wasn't a big deal. But, anyways, yeah, so I just started becoming really good at car camping and putting up my window covers, practicing full on stealth, not drawing any attention to myself, not making noises, not loitering or littering. You know what I mean? Just being, just doing what I do. Just come here and get some sleep. And other people have concerns. They ask me questions. Brandon, don't people recognize that you're sleeping in your car? And the answer is yes. I'm sure many people have looked over and at my car and saw that there was window covers. Or maybe there was a time when they saw me set up or something like that. But here's the thing about that. I used to be concerned with what other people thought of me sleeping in my car until I came to this realization. People who are shopping at Walmart, they just want to go about their business, right? They may notice somebody in their car camping or something like that, but 99.9% of them just don't care about what we have going on. As long as we're not drawing attention to ourselves in a crazy kind of way. Do you know what I'm saying? So I started just adapting that mentality that these people they're just going about their day, you know? And I'm living by faith a lot of the time because a lot of people will say, well, friend, what if someone breaks into your car? You know what I mean? While you're sleeping in there. Hey, look, if that happened, that would be awful. That would be tragic if somebody was to break into my car and crush my skull with a freaking cinder block, right? Yeah, it would be tragic, but it would also be tragic if you went out or I went out onto the interstate one day and we got into a freaking five-car pileup on the highway, or if it would be tragic if we got rear-ended. It would be
Mhm.
tragic if you know if we were involved in a mass shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things are just out of our control, and to live every single day in fear of this happening would be no way to live at all. So I kind of just put my faith in God now, especially that I actually do have a relationship with God. I just offer it up to God, and what will be, right? What will be, but I'm not going to live in fear. I'm not going to live in fear.
That's
I'm going to do my best to stay stealth and not draw any attention to myself and just mind my own business. And I just have to hope for the best. You know what I mean?
another thing is another thing is how he said how he now that he has a relationship with God. And what I know is that anytime you start a journey, whenever you put yourself really out there, whether it's in car life, whether it's moving to a new city, whether it's getting married, whatever is new and totally, something that you gotta jump in without testing the waters, something that uh, is unfamiliar ground. I noticed that that is the time where um, people usually really relies on God and they ask Him to lead them. And whenever they get to the point of saying having no fear, that is when they have reached the point of being here, like right here with God. Because the closer you get to Him, the less you fear. That is a very big part of being um, able to get through the matrix is having no fear. It's a very high um, it's a very high frequency. It's right up there with joy. To live with no fear. It's freeing, especially when you're living with no fear on unfamiliar territory. And um, I also wanted to say that he, at this time that he was living at Walmart like that, I have to put this in there. This was years ago. There's been a very big uptake in the past couple of years with Walmart. This might be still true, but I do have to put that in there so it's not misleading. Okay. So, like I said, I'm just going to finish up with him, and I really like his advice. Um, it's from experience, so it can't go wrong because it's from firsthand experience, and it's him openly sharing after being so used to openly sharing and knowing what he has shared. And this is getting to the dirt bones of stuff, encouraging people coming in. So, like I said, it is a community, and they really do look out for each other.
But these are the mentalities that I've developed over the past 2 years, right? And like I said before, you just never really fully prepared for car life until you actually start living it, right? And I'm still learning little things, but I've got it locked in. I got it dialed in, man. And I really do enjoy living in my car, I must say, even with the challenges, right? I'm happy with where I'm at this point in my life because I know that I am progressing towards where I want to be, right? Because I do eventually want to be in a better financial position to get a small place for myself and for my son, who's a teenager, you know what I mean? And get another few years with him under the same roof with him. That's what I really want, right? But until then, this is what I've got. What's most important to me is that I'm sober, is that I'm healthy, and that I'm working hard, and that I've just pretty much put my faith in God that if I do the right things every day and stay sober and work hard and do all that,
Mm.
He's going to guide me and He's going to take me there, right? So I'm okay with where I'm at, and you will be too. Just have some faith in yourself, and also just do your research. Know where you're camping, right? Someone
Mhm.
asked me recently, it's like, Brent, how do you know where to camp when you're in a new city? And for me, I would just get a feel for the place. I would aim towards the suburbs as opposed to like inner city areas. Are you in a rough area or not? Use your common sense. Pick a place that just feels safe, all right? And do your research. So I know all the places to go in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. I know where not to sleep and I know where to sleep. So if I was to like travel into Connecticut or Vermont or somewhere else in New England or down south or hit the other states, I wouldn't be as knowledgeable, obviously, because I've never camped out there, and I would have to kind of just do my research online maybe and say and look up this area or just kind of get a feel for the area when I'm down there. So I don't travel the country. I'm pretty much in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. But anyways, I'm gonna stop talking now. I just wanted to talk to you guys about where I was 2 years ago and where I'm at now, right? And the things I've learned along the way. Everything will be all good if you take care of yourself, y'all.
Mhm.
Okay. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in a minute.
And that is Bren P. Bren P. Grace. Bren, Bren, capital P, Grace, Grace. Got Grace in his name. Okay, so here I am. Oh, let me choose this sticker. Hey, hey, okay, well, I don't know how to do this. I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, moving on. So, guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for all of my new subscribers, all my new loved ones. Thank you guys so much for your tuning in and watching my videos from this past couple of weeks. And I have a lot more to come. And as far as I have an upcoming Love's Gas Station $50 giveaway on May the 29th and June the 29th. And the word of this is the second word, and the word of the day is world. I have one that I said in another video, and I'm going to be giving 7 words, and then whoever says it first, either in the live or in the following the live where the live video shows that's going to be posted, whoever says that sentence first, I'll cash out the $50. So I'm not going to say a word every day, and I'm not going to say it at the same time. So that was the second word, love. I mean, world. Okay. I have a announcement to make from truck drivers. And I was reading this in the comment section of uh one of the YouTubers that I was watching yesterday, and she was saying how sometimes she'll get something in her tire going in a truck stop or one of those rest areas or whatever. And the truck driver was very nice as he could say it, but I felt him. So I'm going to say what he said. He said, could she please, and for whoever's watching, please not park in their spots because they don't have nowhere else to park. They don't have nowhere else to park. When people with cars and trucks, they can go anywhere, and they're not allowed even in certain parts of cities or whatever. So they have to go straight to them. And then they have limited parking. And if all their parking is taken up, then they don't have nowhere to park. And they need a certain amount of sleep to the next stop. And they don't always have stops along the way. And so how terrible it is to pull in and see 3 cars in 3 spots and there ain't no spots left. And I felt him on that. So I'm just gonna relay that because I know that the Lord has put this channel, this I've been had this channel, but this um show on my heart. And at least at this time, this is where I'm set to get everything out of this and to give everything out of this. And so I know become a big it's going to become a big show. And even if it's not big in the scope of like a lot of people, it's going to be big as far as giving back. It's going to be impactful, I should say. It is impactful already. So I hope, like, I'm just playing. No, it is. Okay. Also, is something really important about living in your car, living in your vehicle, the most important thing, you taking care of you. I was thinking, in taking care of yourself, you gotta make sure that you have a good night's sleep. Now, I was saying that the other day just because of the fact that, I feel like it's a simple luxury that you deserve. But I was looking at this Sky. He was saying the crucial things um, in your safety as far as of being a car lifer. And he was saying how he was sleeping, just like I was saying, he was sleeping like he didn't really care. He just let his seat back. He'll just lay on the back of seat and sort of scrunch up. He was just, going to sleep for a few hours. But he wound up getting a pinched nerve. And that led to a lot of health issues. And his doctor was saying that you could even get a blood clot, and that could be fatal. And also, not to mention long-term back problems. So you don't want to be trying to uh, save some money or live independent and get a whole burst of medical stuff, be laid up in a hospital, as opposed to saving money, you paying out money. That's going out the world backwards. And so it's really crucial that that you, I mean, of course, just like in my life, I never thought that and I'm making contrast that might not seem like the normal contrast till I finish saying what I'm saying. But I never felt like I didn't love myself. Felt like I really had a love for myself. I really loved myself totally until I had my spiritual awakening and I found that I couldn't blame anyone for the situations that I was ending up in because after I went through it a couple of times, I should have had stopped. Like I wound up stopping and saying, "Wait a minute, why am I keep attracting these kind of people? What am I doing? What is there a label on my head say, hey, I need dysfunction in my life? This hurt. I don't want to keep hitting my head up against the wall. I want to live a long time. I want to raise my son, you know, and a whole lot of stuff I want to do. And until I stopped and really asked God and just surrendered my life and said, Lord, I invite you in and to show me, teach me. I've been wrong. Take over, Lord. Some people be like, Jesus, take the wheel, and they say it so, blase. But I'm like, basically, that's exactly what I was saying. And yeah, and it's like, you don't know that you're hurting yourself because you're like, oh, I mean, it's been a million times where I've just laid back in the car and slept. It's not no big deal. But you wasn't doing it as a car lifer or van lifer, where that was your primary sleeping space. And it's like we do stuff in such a robotic way so long that it's just like it just becomes normal. And then everything that's abnormal just don't seem at the forefront of our minds. But sometimes it takes a tragedy to wake up and to sort of look at things from another perspective. And that's what happened in his case, as far as him finding out how hurtful that could be. It's so important to. He started off this creator. I saw a different video he had. He started off with a blow up mattress, and he moved on to get a foam mattress that was better for him. But just like this lady she was showing a couple days ago when I was saying how brilliant that was. She had a table in her car and in her minivan, and then she just put um sleeping bag on top of that and just layered and then made that a bed. Some people like sleeping hard, but it was able to be flat. And so that is so important. And so I don't want to go on and on, but I just want to say that also bring back up that the best sleeping bags I've seen over and over is the military sleeping bags. And you don't have to be military to go in those army stores and stuff to get, military sleeping bag. Also, for ventilation, so you don't have that condensation on your windows, so that you're going through the night and, if it's colder outside and warmer in your vehicle, then naturally from breathing, you're going to get condensation on the window. So nobody knows that somebody is in the vehicle. You don't want that. So something you should do is get those rain guards for over your windows so that if you crack your window, that nobody can see that it's cracked, and it is um, a good deterrent for bugs, but not 100%. But I do have a strategy for bugs. This is good, I know, for rodents and bugs, and it's very, very cheap. So, y'all know those little bottles of like um it could be just a tiny bottle. Well, just get a tiny bottle, spray bottle. It could be an empty spray bottle, 99-cent store. And you can put peppermint oil in the bottle and put water with the peppermint oil in the bottle. And I know it works for rodents because if you look it up on Google, I'm like, who's going to use peppermint oil? How's they going to use that? But this guy was saying how that's what he used for stink bugs or whatever. And once he used it for the stink bugs, and then he found out he could use it for rodents, it smells good. And he said that it's a natural thing that you're going to have bugs. And as I was watching him, I'm like, okay. And he is like, but, and then so he showed this little bottle, I'm like those little cheap bottles, and just get some peppermint oil. They have it at the dollar store. And then you spray your vehicle, and they, honey child, they will not come in. So isn't that cool for bugs? And that's a practical strategy. Also, avoid clutter at all costs. This guy was saying how he thought being in his vehicle would be, oh, great, this little tiny place, I'm not going to have to hardly do any cleaning. But he said that with the car, he does a lot more cleaning because it's so easy to get cluttered. And once it gets cluttered, it's so hard to find stuff. It's so bad on your mental health because it feels like I mean, you can imagine, junk all over the place already in a small space. Um, and so clutter is a big thing to stay away from. So he was saying that, a couple times a week, he'll vacuum out his car. He'll always, as he get trash, he throw it away right away. He use a spray bottle to clean his dishes as he go, the wet wipes or whatever. And, yeah. Also, when it's windy, in some places when it's windy, I never noticed this, that when it's windy, um, there's no mosquitoes. It's very little bugs out when it's windy somewhere. So that is the best time to get some fresh air. Also, if you have a Mr. Buddy, which I recommended a few days ago, but if you have a Mr. Buddy, you need a bit of space. You can't be in like a really small car with a Mr. Buddy. It's very, very uh, dangerous. You have to have a certain amount of space between that and like that for Mr. Buddy, as far as for heating. So it's good to find other practical solutions for that, which they have these little things called heating, also the old water bottles, old hot water bottles. I saw those a couple times in the comment section. I never even seen it since my grandmother in the old back in the day. Um, but old water bottles, and then they have these little things that you could heat up your hands. You could put them inside your thermals. Thermals, don't forget thermals. And that's for colder seasons, or even inside of your socks. And see, I'll be finding more. Also, I see where a lot of people drink coffee or tea, basically because of it being so trying. the road, even if you're not tired, it could be that background noise and the constant, you know, uh, driving. So some people just, keep coffee by them. It's almost like soothing, just knowing it's there just to pick her up or whatever. And this guy was saying how important it was for him to get the best coffee because as a treat to himself and also for mental health purposes, so that it could feel more as a luxury to yourself while you're, driving and living in your vehicle. And those little things to keep you. So next, moving on, I have this young lady here. Her name is um just Toya, just Latoya, and she speaks for herself. So I'll move on to her. Get a lot of talking. Here we go. I started in the middle of her video, so yeah, perfect. But he's so tired. He's so tired. As long as he's good, I'm good, and I got he's good, I'm good, and I got gas. I got oil change. My car is good. You're a sleepy boy, oh you. Okay, I'm gonna put him back down. I'm so tired because I drive, and so the driving makes him so sleepy. I just took him for a walk, so he gets a walk. He gets water. This is his water bottle I have for him. I just open it up. He tells me when he wants water. He'll say, "Hey, I want some water." It's got water in there. And I got these off of Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. It's such a blessing. Amazon Flex is such a blessing. He has a chew toy. I need to go buy him another one because he likes this, but then he doesn't like this. So I got everything I need in this car. I haven't shown you everything. So, but my plan is to save, put away as much money as possible, and just stack it, stack it, stack it. And Amazon Flex has changed my life. So if you have a chance to get on the app Amazon Flex, I recommend it. It is an amazing, amazing company. I know you might be tired. I know you might be frustrated. I know you might be worn out right now. But I just want to encourage you to keep going. Look at the numbers. Look at your goals. Look at the things you want to accomplish. And that will give you the energy to keep waking up every single day and going for what you want. This doesn't have to be a permanent situation, but this is just a situation I felt like I had to do to get my life back on track. Because I just was like, I never even thought, let me just move out of my apartment. Because who does that? And yeah, the mental thoughts will come, but just keep looking at the goals, keep lining up the numbers, keep waking up every morning, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You see the shifts. You see I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing it. Sometimes you get tired, but keep that goal in mind. And everything is going to line up. Everything is going to work out. It's going to work out the way you want it to work out. You just got to keep going, keep moving. And I'm telling myself this, I got to keep going because listen, $800 in 1 week. Of course, taxes are going to come out of that. I just paid my taxes. I pay taxes monthly. So I just gave the money to my taxes. So that's coming out. I put away 10%. DoorDash has it to where you can put away 10% of everything you make for your taxes. Uber Eats has it. Spark has it. I make sure I set up all of that so that I have a certain amount. I just set up an account for him because I just got him 2.5 weeks ago. So I just set up, I'm sending $20 if I can, $20 every few days just for him in case something happens. Like I am setting myself up because I no longer have to pay rent. So a lot of people are like, it's not normal to not have a house or a rent. Well, I'm taking the money I'm not giving to rent and I'm giving it to myself. I'm just giving it back to everything that I wish I could have gave it to when I first started working. So my plan is to just take this money and do better with it versus what I've done in the past and still have fun. I'm going to visit my sister in Atlanta soon. So that's going to be fun. But right now, I am being diligent with my money. And
that's those times when we get encouraged, discouraged, those times when we feel like giving up. Just remember why you're doing it. Remember, I remember why I'm doing it. I remember why I'm in my car, because every day I wake up, put that money somewhere in Fidelity. Put that money in. Right now, I have, I have a lot of stocks that I'm investing in right now, and let me pull it up. Let's see if I can pull it up. The app is not on this phone, but QQQM, um, the one that starts with the N. Oh man, the stocks are going up right now, y'all. So get in right now because stocks are really going up. So I'm just trying to do better than I've done in the past. And I know some of y'all don't like me, you don't agree with me, and it's okay. But I'm just trying to do better than I've done in the past. And sometimes you have to eat those elephants. I'm eating the elephant right now. It's not tasty mentally or physically or emotionally, but I'm just trying to keep myself encouraged and remember why I'm doing this. And thank God for Amazon Flex. Thank God for Amazon Flex, for Spark, and
Walmart
all
Spark.
the apps. You may say, why don't you get a job? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I got something. Sorry, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know a job that can pay me the money I want without a degree. I feel like the health field is where you should be if you really want to make money now. It's just I don't know. Like right now, everybody's so tight with their money. But if their health is not great, they'll go to the doctor, and that's where all the money is right now. But I don't know any job that's going to pay me $800 a week, and then I can distribute the money where I want it to go, versus it being taken from me. I can distribute it. You know, I'm I'm set to make over four.
Mind you, she not calling driving the job. These apps, she is working. She's driving. But she's able to keep her pet with her. That's why she probably not. But she's delivering packages. She is working.
$1,400 this week because I'm going to work, work, work. No being lazy, no being tired. I'm going to get up every day, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to work until 9, 10 o'clock at night every day. And I'm set. And I know that's probably a lot to some of y'all, but being lazy did nothing for me. Being lazy ruined my life. Being lazy put me in a very terrible position, and I'm done being lazy. Even while living in my car, I'm about to go hard because I'm going to make this worth it. I'm going to make this worth it. So my plan, that's my plan. And hopefully in like 6 to 8 months, I'll have close to $10,000 saved, probably more than that. And that's not even enough still to do what I really want to do. So I'm just going to keep going hard and showing up on video. My other channel is Dash. I do a little traveling on that channel, sharing more of my living in my car moments on that channel. If you want to check me out, go check me out there.
She's going to meet her goal because she's not even including what she's going to be making on YouTube. Her channel is blown up. YouTube makes millionaires. When you blow up on YouTube, they make millionaires. So she's saying that that's her goal. She talking about those apps. But when her channel finished blowing up, she's gonna be making real money on YouTube.
But Amazon Flex really has been a blessing to me because you see you have a set schedule set up for every day of the week versus it's like working a job. You have a schedule every day of the week versus waking up and seeing how much you're gonna make on Spark, not sure how much you're gonna make with DoorDash. So it's been a blessing to me and I'm grateful for it. I love y'all and I hope you have an amazing day.
Excellent. What I liked about her is that her goals and her balance is all one and the same because see that's how they get me. I be watching I be watching I be working all day because I be watching this and I be taking notes and I be trying to catch the next one and study the uh comment section and everything. So I'm constantly but it's worth it because I really am digging in where I'm actually not outside doing the car life. I'm still doing the car life because I am getting so enmeshed in it and really learning the ins and outs. And of course, it's nothing like being outside in it. So let me not make that. But I definitely always, whenever I'm doing something, I always learn my craft. I'm very diligent where that is. What I like about her is also she got the puppy. And he's so cute. She got him for her mental health. And it's just like if you go to her channel, which is just Latoya, Just, capital L. She spelled her name different. Capital Latoijia. Ain't that so cute? Latoya. I like how she spelled her name. Just Latoya. And then, like she said, Dodash, she have a channel, not DOE. Dodash is DOUGHDASH. So I found her on that too. I'm like, she looked just like. Then I was like, oh, she have two channels. Then I heard her say this on this. So look, she in her comment section, somebody was like, try Vanguard. So um she does DoorDash, Walmart Spark, which is in her other video, she said Walmart Spark is where you deliver 20 to 30 packages and one run, and they pay you to deliver those packages and then whatever tips. With Amazon Flex, you make the money if you like with Amazon Flex, you make it or not if you take the shift. If they cancel it, they still pay you. And all of these, she can keep her pet with her while she works. So this is, and even with Eats, I'm not sure with Uber Eats, but I know the other guy was doing Uber Eats, but he didn't have a pet. Um, that's what I really liked about that. Also, I like that she she wasn't just talking about going to Atlanta, but she was also talking about another trip that she was doing with other car dwellers that she knew or whatever. So that's in another video. So she makes time for herself and she's saying like, oh, well, I'm going to work this time or whatever. But then she will turn down certain like if she feel like it's a bad road, she not gonna go on that road and mess up her under her car and her tires and stuff. If she feel like she's too tired, that she'll take the time off, so she's not just pounding herself into the dirt for, you know, for the cause. It sound like it right there, but she's actually very balanced with it, and she's investing and she's putting money to the side for emergencies. And she's very young. She's only like 40, 44, something like that. Between 40 and 44. I know she's not 45 yet. Not saying like I'm just so old or so much older, but I'm saying that is young because I'm not so much older. So that's young. Guys, isn't this a good idea? I'm going over because I didn't start till late. So I still have another 7 minutes. Something that is a good investment, even if you've been in car life, something you might not have thought of, a CB radio. And then that way, truck drivers can tell you different road conditions for, and also it's just cool to have. I remember, before all the apps, and I mean, not apps, she got me saying apps. Remember before w- being online and stuff back in the day, I remember having to see my stepfather, he had a CB radio in the he drove trucks, but he had it in the garage too. And you could just hear them talking with each other or whatever. But that's good to have, and I'm sure you can find that at like this lady, the modern day pilgrim, which I got a lot of tips from yesterday. So she was also the lady who had the table with uh, that good ideas on another show I have. anyway, she was saying how, um, man, where was I at? Oh, how most everything that you need you could find at a thrift store if you're, and I know that to be true because I've shopped at thrift stores. I used to work at the market with my mom, and I would go to different thrift stores and stuff. And at that time, I would shop for clothes at the thrift store too. Not so much now because I'm a very spiritual person. um, I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. But when I say spiritual, I'm Christ. I'm a Christian, but more spiritual than religious. Because usually when people say spiritual, they be talking about tarot and crystals and stuff like that that I'm not into. So I'm a Christian. I'm just not religious. I'm spiritual. I believe in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And speaking of, I have not even said my verse for the day, which is John 5 and 8, and also Mark 2 and 11, which is basically saying the same thing, which is very good for this. Um, it's Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk. And this was where and immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And this was where he had the the man who had been sitting all that time. He was crippled or whatever, and he helped him. And this shows it shows Jesus' authority over illness and his power um, over sickness. Um, and I also got all of this is pick up uh, your bed and walk is where you rest at, which I felt like this was in good contrast to car lifers, where you rest at, and that is the biggest part of your day is where you sleep at. And so when you pick up your bed, you're doing the labor to get to the rest or whatever. If you're picking it up and then taking it where it needs to be, where you need to lay it down or whatever. And so you're doing your due diligence in the day to get to the rest part. And so I was saying overall in this video is the stepping out on faith. Also, faith without works is dead. Getting a closer relationship with God is is the most crucial, I feel, in everything you do. I've been under attack, spiritual attacks, or whatever, and I have found that being closer to God and having the Holy Spirit is what has been able to lead me and guide me. So he could see everything. He could see the mind thoughts of my enemies, my opposition, including the enemies, what obstacles are ahead. And so, in having that said, he's able to lead me and guide me. And with me having no fear and my full faith in him, my complete faith in him, um, I've been able to completely um, stay alive and stay um, winning, getting back, paying it forward. And my life has been gotten so much better. And my son's life has gotten so much better. One thing that I asked God when my son was born was that I prayed that he would allow me to raise him. He's autistic. And I prayed that he would, it might cut off, but I'm going to see if it cuts off or if it was just a flop the last time. But I want to make this point. If it does cut off, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. And I pray you have a great rest of the day. But I asked the Lord if he would allow me to raise my son. Because when I had my first son, I was so much younger. And I have two other children that I had in the Muslim faith that I haven't seen. Now it's been 20 years. And so when I had him, I was so grateful because I didn't think I could have any more children because of I was kicked downstairs. I never said that out loud to nobody. And the doctor told me I wouldn't be able to have any more children. So when I found out I was pregnant, that's why I went to the shelter here in Georgia. So when I moved here to Georgia, I was getting clean off of drugs. And I was changing my life, but I was staying with my mom. A lot of my family stays here in Georgia, and they're pretty well off. And I was doing her yard and getting through the day like that. I was working like a man. She had a very big corner lot. And when I got ready to move to Salvation Army, it was really frowned upon. My family is like different ones in my family. You could come stay with me. Not so much because they wanted me around. I don't think. I think it was more because they saw how hard I was working. And I would even walk over to my aunt's house because I didn't know her, but she was from New York and I wanted to get to know her. So I was like, I walk over there 3 miles away. I was walking a lot at that time for health reasons. And I would just go over there and she'd be sitting in a chair. We'd be talking. I'll just go clean out her cabinets and just do whatever I could, try to clean her dishes in her china cabinet, wipe down her wood panels and stuff because I was a caregiver and I was a housekeeper. That was my profession. And before I moved from Detroit. And so anyway, I was really, really um, thinking I couldn't have any more children. And that people were saying that, don't go stay down there. It was like three different ones that offered me to stay at their house in very good living conditions. I'm like, I wouldn't even leave my mom's house because she had a very beautiful home and I was living really good and plush. But I went to stay in Salvation Army while I was pregnant, knowing that, hoping that I would get on Section 8. But now I'm glad I didn't. But knowing that I would probably have to go stay in the projects. And in the projects in Augusta, Georgia, which is where I'm at, and not knowing nobody here. And anyway, my son was raised a lot by my mom, and he was still staying with her. She had got custody of him, and anyway, so that was the reason why I went to stay at Salvation Army. Then I did stay at the projects, and wound up staying there for 4 years, and I didn't wind up leaving there until I had really got till I got saved because I was going to church. I was walking to church over there. But when I got saved, that's when the Lord allowed me to move from there and then to my last apartment, which I had to pay full rent. And then when he got to another school, which didn't have an autism program, they had a they was putting them all together, all the special ed together. And so I wanted to be close to his school. So I had waited on the list to come stay here, and it was substantially higher than where I was staying, but it wound up being my dream apartment. And so anyway, I had asked God, can I please raise him? And can I, so because I wanted so much, I wanted to put inside of him on my own, where I had felt like I had been a failure in being a mother in my other children's lives, as far as not being there. I was giving my son all, everything. I was giving him at that time, PlayStation was big, and I was giving him everything. I mean, money, everything. He had everything. Sending my mom money, sending him all the latest stuff, and even when he was in the foster home for a small time, I went and took him and his foster brother's stuff, off the record and all that stuff. But I wasn't there because I was using. And so anyway, I just, since he gave me another chance, I really wanted another chance. And so anyway, he had, I've never let my son take any medicine for his autism. And that was a big thing that they was offering, but I didn't want anything to alter his mind. I knew that God could bring him to understanding, to be able to, um, he would help in his development. I just didn't want him on nothing because I know once you get addicted to different stuff, you get altered. And, I just wanted God to deal with him mentally. And so he just turned 16, and I've been showing him how to cook in just the air fryer and a microwave. And I've been showing him how to wash the dishes instead of put them in a dishwasher. And I've been having him to do it. So for the first time last night, he was like, "Don't you got to work in the morning?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, just keep the dishes in the sink, and I'm gonna wash them tonight." He offered on his own, and like little stuff like that. And then we be playing, and he when it's time for his dinner, because he had lunch about 4:30, and then when it's time for his dinner about 9, 10 o'clock or whatever, if I'm not out there yet, then he'll go in there, he'll act like he's doing his he'd bounce the big ball that's in there, and he says that that's for his stretching and stuff and be in his room or whatever all day. But usually it's just to get me out of my room so I can go make him dinner or whatever. So he had to hand his ball in his hand, getting ready to bounce, and before he bounced, I was out the room. I was like, "Before even it bounced, I caught you. I'm out here because I was about to come out here anyway." To make your dinner. He was like, "That's not what I was about to say." Yes, it was. Yes, it was. He just started laughing or whatever. And we just be having so much. He has a dental appointment coming up, and he's like, "Well, do I have to have any surgery or whatever?" I'm like, "It's just no, he don't have to have any surgery or whatever. He has to have a filling." And so he's like, "Okay, so we can go to McDonald's." I'm like, "Well, you know what? Actually, I have to stop by the pharmacy on my way back. So that little cafe, I'm like, we can stop by that cafe, or we can go to McDonald's, or we can go to Wendy's." Wendy's. He's like, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let's go to Wendy's." He's like, "It's a date." I'm like, "Okay." Anyway, our relationship is just evolving. He's evolving. And I just see it's just like since my spiritual awakening, he has really, it's just like he feel like he can really let go, and he could trust that it was a time where like his dad came in the apartment, and he's like yelling or whatever, and I'm like, "Just calm down, you don't gotta do all that." I'm like, "I wouldn't do that, why, if I'm at your apartment or whatever." And he's yelling, he's like, "I don't know what you looking at your mom for, she ain't gonna do nothing." And I was just sort of like stuck, and I was like, in my mind I'm thinking like, I don't want to undermine his father. I don't want you know I can always talk to him off to the side. I don't want to that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I want to respect him because that's his dad, and I'll just pull him to the side. And you know, so he wasn't in a position to talk that day. So I was like, I'll just talk to him later or whatever. I didn't realize until later after my spiritual awakening when my son said something to me about it. And then at that moment, I realized that he didn't feel that I was able to keep him safe mentally. Like I was not strong enough to keep him safe, even in my own home, because I allowed his dad to yell at him and say that to him, and even disrespect me and yell in my apartment and curse. I don't curse. He wasn't cursing at him, he was cussing at me. And then he was yelling at him. And then I'm like, don't do that. I'm not going to do that. Don't do that, my neighbors. F these neighbors. I'm like, if I say anything else, he's just going to go further. So let me just be quiet. But after my spiritual awakening, I was like, don't come in here with all that. If you come in here with all that, then don't come, period. You ain't got to never come over here again. All right. Okay. And he's like, wow. And it really hurts me that as strong as I have been in my life, I've been so strong in so many situations. But when it comes to people that I care for and I love, that I give them so much more respect than they have given me. But when it comes to strangers that don't know me, that I'm sort of like real quiet around, just figuring them out or whatever, they give me the utmost respect unless they see me around people that's supposed to love me. So anyway, um, that's more about me. Anyway, I'm surprised I didn't get cut off, but I was praying that I could raise my son, and he's been allowing me to raise my son, and every thing that the Holy Spirit has led me, every move he has led me to take, go this way, go that way, don't eat that, don't eat nothing out of that plate, don't do this, don't do that. Um, and I know where some people wondering, how am I even still here? Someone even told me how they heard I passed away, that I was wrapped up in a carpet and that I was thrown in a dumpster. Somebody told me that from Detroit, that they heard I passed away and they told me the whole thing, how it happened. And it might seem like I'm being overly, but I am one of God's children. I'm chosen. And if you're chosen, then you understand what I'm talking about. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me today. I love you. God loves you so much more. Peace.